Today we're going to be showing you how to install coilovers on a 2002 Ford Mustang for drifting. On a drift car, we want the strut to be as far to the front of the car as possible and as far towards the fender as possible. We utilize the Maxima Motorsports Camber caster plates. They make a great product. You do have to cut in the hole to make it a little bit wider. You're gonna have to drill an extra hole right here because there's no hole originally. So to figure out how much more you can cut over here, when you put the plate on here and move it forward all the way, that's going to tell you how much area you have to cut towards the front of the car in order for everything to fit. So drill your hole first, set your plate on there, mark it with a pin, and then you'll be able to see how far forward you can possibly go, and you can actually just cut it by using this as a template. Also, there's a little piece that sticks down through here. We just trim that off a little bit with a grinder. That way it doesn't hit against the fender. And also the top plate that goes on, you're gonna have to trim it a little tiny bit to clear the inner fender well. So, and remember, this is all for drifting. So when it's finished, this is what it should look like. There's a little tab that sticks out, so that always faces the firewall, so you'll know that's the right direction to go. So you can actually see how much movement we have in order to make our product work. We are using Duncan Motorsports drifting A-arms down underneath here. And for this setup, the Maxima Motorsports Camber caster gauge works great with it. This is designed by Duncan from Duncan Motorsports out of Vallejo, California. Does a great job on building and supplying technical support for this product. I highly suggest if you are driving a Mustang and you want to drift it, please get a hold of him, because that is definitely the setup you'd want to get. He designs and is tested and it's proven and it works. Okay, when we're installing the Duncan Motorsports drifting A-arms, when you're using coilovers, we have an issue because this part of the body is actually in the way. When you put the coil up there and the angle that we are running, because they're longer A-arms and as far forward as we're running, it actually will interfere with this area right here. Now, it's actually a pretty easy fix. Basically, this line right here where this hole is, if you were to take a sliver the equal distance all the way across, draw a line all the way across, and you cut from here up and over, and you're literally taking a 3/4 of a sliver out of this piece. Once you've done that, you will cut a line from here about an extra 1/2 inch past this piece right here, and the same on this side. So when that sliver's out of it, you'll actually fold this extra piece up and you'll weld it along here. It's the easiest way to do it. This sheet metal right here is very thin. Be careful when you weld it. Just do spot welds all the way across it, otherwise you'll burn right through. The metal on this side is actually pretty thick, but when you're done with it, it'll come out really nice and smooth, and you'll get your clearance for your springs. We're going to go to the other side that's already done, and we'll show you what the finished product looks like. And that will give you the clearance of your coil springs. Okay, this side is a finished product. Took a little bit of work, but it really came out good. It's very smooth. It's a smooth transition around here. I basically cut probably about 1 inch past to where the body is right here, up, and 1 inch past up. Once I've got that sliver out of there, I was able to get either channel locks to pull the metal up as I was doing that all the way across. And then once you've kind of got a start of pulling the metal up, you can take a hammer and pound it flat against the new metal that's up here. And then you just spot weld all the way across there. And then your coil spring will have plenty of clearance to bolt into your camber caster gauge. It works really good. It's really not that big of a job. You just got to remember, when you cut that sliver out, cut up an extra 1/2 inch on the sides, so it gives you some ability to pull this lip around. And with the channel locks or whatever you can get to start to bend, once it starts to bend, you can get a hammer and just pound it in, weld it across there, and you got full clearance.
Alright, so now I'm going to be installing the coilover, the rotor, and the hub. Bye.